My dear friends, welcome to Rajashekar classes on applied data science with Python. This is lecture number 94. In this lecture, I will start discussing calculation of bivariate and multivariate statistics, descriptive statistics by SciPy and stats models. First, we will go to our Jupyter notebook. In this Jupyter notebook, in this demo, we will see how we can use SciPy and stats models to calculate descriptive statistics for bivariate and multivariate data. Set up the import statements. Just see this one from import SciPy. These particular libraries we already discussed many times. Here you must understand SM is renamed. It's alias for statsmodels.api. This we discussed many times. This time we will try to work with a new data set, housing data.csv. Let me say like this, we will also work with a new data set for a little variety. This is the Boston housing data set, which is available in Kaggle website. This is available in different websites. Even if you want, you can download from my Google site. This data set comes under real estate domain. This data set contains number of different characteristics of homes in Boston, and it's generally a data set used for regression analysis, used to predict the median value of a home, simply a value of a home. The median value here is represented in thousands of dollars. Just say this particular data set, let me run this one. This is the data set. There are different columns, isn't it? I am displaying first 5 rows. This data set is stored in E drive. There is a folder known as Applied Data Science with Python. Just I am displaying first 5 rows, isn't it? Now, anyway, the characteristics include the age of the people who own the house, the number of rooms, the distance to the nearest employment centers, a tax rate, and a bunch of other details. The data set is a medium sized one. Just let me check the shape of this particular data type. Data frame. What is this data? House underscore data is my data frame name. Shape means there are 506 rows and 14 columns. I can say it has 506 records. In order to work with a subset of data that is more manageable, I am going to drop few columns here. The remaining columns are what we will use for our regression analysis and other measures that we will calculate. This dataset contains few missing fields. If you invoke the is null, just see this is null dot sum. This I discussed. Just see this one. There are 506 records and 14 columns. That's what we discussed. Now, what am I doing? Just I am not interested in crime column, and there is another column, B column. Just see this data set. There are column names CRIM, and there is another column. Just see this is B. I am not interested in those columns. Therefore, let me drop that columns. How can I drop? House underscore data. This is my data frame name. Just I am saying dot drop, isn't it? I am dropping which column. Axis equal to 1 means what? I am dropping the columns. Which column? CARIM column and B column, and that we are storing in house underscore data. Just if I say house underscore data head means I will get first 5 rows in this particular data frame. That particular 2 columns, CRIM is not there and B column is also dropped, isn't it? House underscore data is null dot sum. This I discussed about this one. We have spent a lot of time is null dot sum, isn't it? In my previous lectures, I discussed a lot on this particular command. This, let me say like this. This dataset contains few missing fields. If you invoke isNull.sum, you will see that certain fields are missing. I am going to go ahead and invoke a drop NA function to get rid of records which have missing values. Just say this also I discussed, this drop NA. Just let me say access equal 0 means just I am dropping the rows where are the null value those rows which consist of null values. Just let me check the shape. Earlier there are how many rows? 506 rows. Now it is just 413 rows. What does it mean? All other rows which is having that null values, you are dropping. That's what I'm saying. Let me say like this: invoke drop in a function to get record of records which have missing. Let me say which have missing values. This will leave us with a clean data set with no missing values. And how many records are there? There are 413 records. In 14 columns, we already dropped 2 columns, isn't it? I will now use scipy.median function to calculate the median price of a home in our data set. Just see, scipy.median house underscore data is my data frame name. MEDEV is my column name. Median value means value of the house. Just see, MEDEV. For that column, I am calculating median value that I am storing in median underscore price. Just let me run this one. You are getting 21.2. What does it do? What does it mean? The median price is $21,200. This is fairly old data set from the 1980s. I will use this median information to add a new column to my data frame indicating whether home price is above the median or not. This column will have a value of 1. If the home price is above the median, it will have value of 0 if the home price is below the median. Just see just what am I doing here. This is anyway we already import numpy as np. np dot house underscore data is my data frame name. I am adding one more column to this my data frame, above underscore median. What am I doing here? np dot where house underscore data MEDV means median value, means the value of the house. In this, the house underscore data is my data frame name. MEDV is my column name where value of the houses are stored. Median values, they are saying median values. For simplicity, let me say it's a value of the house. If it is greater than median price, what is the median price? 21.2 is a median price. If it is greater than median price, it will store 1. Otherwise, it will store 0. That's what it's meaning. np dot where means. Now let me collect a sample of 10 records from resulted. Just see, I am adding one more. I'm adding one more column, isn't it? Otherwise, let me reduce the size of the screen so that it may be visible. Just see, just this particular column I added. Just see, what is the median? For example, this particular house 19.3. What is our median price? 21.2. 21. This is less than your median price. Therefore, you are keeping 0. 36.4 is greater than 21.2. That is median price is 1. 33.4 is greater than 21.2. Therefore, it's returning 1. Means above underscore median is a column in which I am keeping zeros and ones. Means if it is having 1 means median value of the price is greater than median price. This is simple. You can understand. Just compare and you can understand. It's not that great thing. I will repeat this one. This column will have a value of 1. If the home price is above the median, it will have value of 0 if the home price is below the median. Isn't it? It is simple logic. In this we added one. Simply we added one column. That's it. Nothing more than that. I am going to select few interesting features from my data set for further exploration. The median value of home, the number of rooms in a house, the distance from employment centers, and age of a owner of the house. Just see the just see house underscore data underscore selected. This is let me increase the size. Let it be 175. Now I think it's visible. House underscore data underscore selected. In this house underscore data is my original data frame name. I'm only collecting MEDV, median value means it's a value of the house, RM room numbers, distance from the employment centers, age of the owner, house owner. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. Just I'm keeping just 4 columns. Just I want to work with these 4 columns. I'm interested in these 4 columns. Just that's what it says. Median RM DAS age, isn't it? Now let me say. Now what will I do after collecting? If you want to visualize the relationship that exists between two continuous variable, scatter plot is a great visualization tool. Let's see how the age affects the median value of a home. Just see, here this is bivariate. Is it not bivariate? If there are two variables, to understand the relationship between that two variables, I can make you scatter plot. How can I, this we already discussed. PLT dot figure size I need not discuss again and again. SNS dot scatter plot. On x-axis I am taking age. On y-axis I am taking value of the house, median value of the house. S equal to this 80 data equal to what is my data of frame house underscore data underscore selected, isn't it? Yes, I already explained what is yes this size size of this one, isn't it? Now if I run this one, what you are getting on x-axis, I'm taking age, on y-axis median. Is there any relation between these two things? There is no relation between age of age and the value of the house. Therefore it is showing scatter plot like this, isn't it? Now we will try to understand another bivariate relationship in between. On x-axis I am taking number of rooms, and y-axis I am taking value of the house. Just if I want to plot, just you are getting what you are getting. I am plotting a scatter plot. What am I doing on x-axis? On x-axis I am taking room numbers, on y-axis I am taking median value. It is just like straight line. Just see, is it not just like straight line? Means what does it mean? As average number of rooms. Here you must understand average number of rooms. As average number of rooms is increasing, that MEDV means value of the house or value of the home. Value of the home is increasing. Just, is it not straight line? Just like this is straight line. Just see this one. This is straight line. Therefore, there is a relation between average number of rooms and value of the house. As average number of rooms are increasing, value of the house is increasing. But there is no relation between age and value of the house. As age means age of the person who owns the house. There is no relation between value of the house, age of the person who owns the house. These are two bivariate relationships. In my next lecture, I will discuss about covariance, and I will discuss other things in my next lecture. Just go through this lecture. Just in this lecture, I introduce same thing, same concept I repeated. Maybe just here I'm interested in using SciPy and stat models, so that here I already also using NumPy. I will continue my discussion in lecture number 95. Thank you very much.